Welcome to episode 21 of Insurance, Investments, and All About Town podcast. I'm Eric Sporing, financial advisor, owner of ECS Capital Investments. To my left is my podcast partner in crime, Tara Lavelle, the expert who can untangle health and care insurance faster than most people can spell deductible.
What? Eric, that's a good one. Wow. Stepping up your game.
Well, today we'll have Justin with Blue Springs Park and Rec joining us today to talk talking about what's going on with the city of Blue Springs. And I know they have a bunch of, they have a busy summer, I should say. So it'll be interesting to kind of hear what Justin has to say. But, as the taping of this, we've got the World Cup coming up.
We do, yeah.
That's going to be here before we know it.
Yep. Are you going?
No.
Me neither. Okay.
I'm getting out of Dodge.
That's what I was thinking. I'm just going to stay in Blue Springs.
Yeah. No, I did read an article yesterday that just in general, the international, fans, we're not seeing them sign up for hotels and things like that. Yeah. And they're complaining about cost, right? But yeah, so it'd be interesting to see as we get closer to that date if that fills up. But I guess I have to ask too. We had golf, and so
we did. Golf was great.
Yep, Chamber of Blue Springs. Also here that talked to Brian when I was out at the golf tournament, and so.
Lord only knows where we're going here.
Not going anywhere.
Okay.
So, other than I think you found another sport to keep you away from work, but
like I needed one of those. Did he tell you we went to Golf Ranch 3 times in one week?
That's what he said. You guys, he goes, I think Tara's really getting into this golf. So.
I'm so competitive, and I so enjoy doing things outdoors. Why not?
Right?
Why not? Yeah, I made him sign up for the membership, the whole, we've got the app to track everything.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, you do not want to be a 50-foot pin with me and my pitching wedge.
You're pretty dead on, right?
Yeah,
you got that one dialed in?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can go 100, right at that 100 with my 7 or my 9. I'm getting better. I can't drive to save my soul.
Yeah, drive for show, putt for dough.
Yeah. Oh, is that the way it works?
That's what they say.
I have never putted either, so I don't know how I am
drive for show, putt for dough. That's what they say. So, well, I have to ask too, any more softball mishaps that I can?
No, we have not ever since the beautiful fall. No, it's been pretty good. Played in a little tournament, so it was 3 games in one day. That's a lot of softball.
Wow. Yeah.
1 day break, and then we played league. So it was 4 games in about 72 hours.
Oh, wow.
That was more softball than I've played ever in my life.
Oh, wow.
But it was fun. Had a really good time. Actually, had to drive all the way up to Happy Rock. Have you ever been up there in Gladstone?
Nope.
It's where we played the tournament, so it was quite a...
Was it like a little round robin? You just played...
Yeah, it was just, the, lower league, 3 of us, little round robin.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Well, cool.
Had a great day. That day I was 7 for 11.
7 for 11?
Yeah. All down third baseline, which I never...
You're pulling them.
Yeah.
Pulling them down the line.
And then Monday night, I was 0 for.
0 for.
Yeah. So bounced back this week, had a standing triple.
Oh, listen to you.
So...
Yeah. Did the left fielder just fall down and
I hit it over her head. I know you'll be shocked. I did. I hit it over her head. And I distinctly remember as I rounded first base thinking to myself, I hit the heck out of that one. Man, I was all smiles. I did get to third base and was like, I could maybe squeeze it. But I was like, but man, I'm tired. I had gone 3 bases in a row in a long time.
That's long.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was actually last weekend. We went out for a walk, my daughter, my wife and I, and then my daughter's boyfriend, and they kind of went separate directions. We kind of met up, and I was like, let's beat him home. And so we kind of met up, and I'm like, all right, we got to take off running. And so I literally ran a block and a half with that. Yeah, my wife.
So you're competitive too?
Well, man, a little bit maybe. So. But anyway.
That's funny.
Well, today I think you were going to talk about what benefits a broker can do for their clients, right? Yep. And then I'm going to talk a little bit. Hey, we got midterm elections coming up, and there's going to be a lot of noise out there in the market. Yeah. So I just want to just put it out there of, hey, we've had many midterm elections before, and I'll just kind of go over that a little bit. So, and then Justin will talk about, obviously the Blue Springs Parks and Rec. So.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I utilize a lot of Parks and Rec services, so I'm looking forward to that.
I know my kids were younger. We did the same thing. They're older now, and we don't.
Well, there's so much for us too.
Yeah.
I mean,
there is.
You're almost old enough to go hang out at Vesper Hall.
I already get my senior discount at Culver's.
Did you sign up for AARP?
No, but they send stuff to me.
It's only $15.
Yeah, well, every week I get something from them, and I can get a free tote bag.
There you go.
So, well, why don't you kick off and tell us what benefits a broker does for its clients?
Sure.
So,
the real question is, right, why benefit brokers matter? So most of you, maybe you're working for an employer. Every year you sign up for some benefits, and you may think, this is how it works. Maybe you don't know how it works. A broker should be doing more than helping your employer buy insurance. Right. In reality, we act like strategic advisors. We help employers navigate like rising healthcare costs. We can help with employee retention, and really increase the overall employee experience. So brokers should do more than show up once a year and have you sign on the line for a 12% increase, is what I'm saying. We can help control costs. So I don't know that everybody realizes this, but brokers, we compare all carriers, right? So I don't work for Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare. Right. I can work with all of those, right, and get quotes from all the available carriers. We compare those for you. We negotiate renewals, which is something I don't know that everybody realizes, is that there's a lot of negotiating that should go on behind the scenes on your behalf to try to get you the best rate possible. Okay. So it's probably secretly my favorite part of group benefits. I'm the sicko that likes to go buy a new car also and haggle. So negotiating renewals. We analyze claim trends. So we're viewing reporting as often as monthly, sometimes quarterly, depending on how the group is performing, to try to look at trends and then predict what renewal is going to look like, or prepare ourselves for what might be coming for renewal and how we can combat that, right? So you have a high-risk claimant, but that person no longer works for your company. If you think about it, the carrier's paid for that claim. Right. How do they want to get their money back? Right. They want to get it back by raising your rate. Right. Well, our argument to that is that's no longer a risk,
because they're gone.
So they're gone. Yeah. We can avoid that one. So a lot of negotiating there. Building benefit strategies. I think that's the other really important thing about a partnership with a broker, is a good broker can help you build a benefit strategy that does more than just give your employees benefits, right? So it can hit budget. Right. Benefits are a really wide spectrum of things, so really finding out what's important to your employees, what attracts them, what keeps them there. All of those things happen in strategic conversations with a benefits broker. Recruiting and retention, that's another thing we talked about, especially for small employers. Eric and I know this pain, so you're a small employer, you need help, but you don't have benefits. Right. The good news is there's all sorts of different ways to offer benefits. You can have group plans with as few as 2 employees. Yep. You can also use things like defined contribution models, which would be ICRAs, QSARAs, and HRAs, which we can talk about in another episode. But ways to not really have a true group plan, but maybe help your employee purchase benefits on their own, but do it in a way in which there's a tax benefit for you as the business owner. Voluntary benefits, right? There's, voluntary benefits as a recruiting tool. So those are benefits that are on your benefit docket. You offer them, but there's no charge to the employer. You typically think of those things like, maybe if you think of AFLAC, you break an arm and they give you $500, right? Those are some of the voluntary benefits. Let's see. It's on the back. Oh. Yeah, you printed front to back for me.
I did.
I forgot to print this morning, so I had to use Eric's printer. We help HR save time and stress. So especially for small to mid-sized businesses, a lot of times we have an owner wearing multiple hats, or maybe we have an HR wearing multiple hats. Our job is to make that easier on them. So take some of the stress, whether that's educating employees, open enrollment meetings, working on claims issues, all of those things that really don't need to be HR or the owner's problem. Those are something the broker takes on. So we save time by using benefit administration tools. So those are our systems we use to get everybody like logged in, show them their choices, let them make their enrollment selections, to integrating that with payroll so that HR doesn't have to touch it every week and run payroll deduction reports. We also help, like you said, we help your employees understand the benefits. So a lot of it is education. There's no such thing as bad benefits, but poorly communicated benefits will be bad every single time. So you should be able to lean on your broker to educate your employees every year as you reach open enrollment or throughout the year as they're hired, really to help them make a really educated decision on their benefits. At the end of the day, right, employee benefits are no longer just an HR function. They're a real business strategy. And you need to approach them as a business strategy. And I think the best way to do that is just to pair yourself with a broker that truly wants to be a strategic partner.
It's kind of like I put in my monologue. They need somebody that can, dissect it. How did I put that? Expert who can untangle healthcare insurance faster than most people can spell the word deductible, and that's exactly what you're talking about doing. I was, one thing when you said it earlier was, somebody is no longer there and they've had a claim. Instead of just taking the premium uptick, hey, we can fight that, because they're no longer here. That risk is gone. And so I didn't even think about that.
We do a lot of that negotiation. We negotiate, just every single renewal. I'll ask for every darn dime I can get to keep the cost down. Healthcare it's rising rapidly, the cost of healthcare. So it's been tough for employers to stay ahead of.
And I'm thinking, first thing that comes to mind a little bit is, you said it earlier, we're both small business owners, right? And small business owners, 12% increase, that's a big increase, and so if you've got somebody that's on your side and can help you, reduce that premium, that's what you want.
And sometimes it's negotiating with carriers, sometimes it's plan design. What can we do in the plan design to try to save costs, right? If employers have bad years, and sometimes those years there's not much we can do, so then we start to think about other creative ways to attack the rising cost of benefits. And when you make those kinds of decisions, again, you have to educate the employees to send the right message. So
exactly. Never thought about that. So that's great information. Like I said, never even thought about that. So anything else you got?
That's it.
That's it?
That's what I've got today. I hardly ever hit on the employee benefits portion of what we do. So I thought that, today I'd talk a little bit about that. I've seen a lot of renewals this year coming in at 12 to 14% that we've been able to negotiate. I've heard a lot of stories from employers that I'm working with on, not understanding what they have, never see their broker, like all of those things. So, it was time to just bring it to light. And
I think that's in a lot of business. Even in my business, you'll run across a client that's like, I haven't heard from my financial advisor in years. I'm like, well, and so you hear that.
It's an out of sight, out of mind thing, right?
Well, that's good information. I'll shift gears here a little bit, and I'll talk about midterm elections. Like I said, we've got a midterm election here in November.
We do.
Only 3 times in the history has the White House picked up seats in the House of Representatives during midterm elections. Okay.
I don't even know what that means.
So the incumbent party, right? So whoever is in the White House. So right now we got the Republicans in, right? So only 3 times in history has, let's say, the Republicans actually gained seats during the midterm elections. Usually it's the other party that will take over the House of Representatives. Okay. So it's only happened 3 times that they've held. Can you name? I won't make you name
There's
the
no
year,
way.
but maybe can you name the president?
Oh, can I name any presidents?
Presidency.
Can you give me a time frame?
This
Recent?
this president was in there for a long time.
Oh my gosh, president in there for a long time.
Oh, come on, that's easy.
It is?
Yes.
Truman.
No.
I don't know.
He was before Truman.
Who's before
Right before Truman.
Right before Truman. Eisenhower? Or is he after?
History wasn't your
No,
thing.
well,
was it?
actually, I do love history. I don't know what's happening right now. Please tell me.
Roosevelt.
Oh,
Roosevelt
yes, that
died
makes
in
so
office.
much sense.
Right.
Okay, yeah, got
so
it.
Roosevelt, right? And then he was in term forever. Now you can only have 2 terms
Yeah,
because of
yeah,
Roosevelt.
okay.
And
Yes,
then
I knew
Truman
all
took
these
over because
things.
Roosevelt
Yeah.
died in office.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So Roosevelt was one.
Roosevelt, that was
Yep.
my third guess.
The other 2, fairly recent.
Obama.
No.
Darn it. Bill Clinton.
Yes.
Okay. George W.
George W. is correct. You got, look at that, 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3, pretty good.
So those have been the only 3 times since 1950 or 1930s that you've seen, the House or the White House keep, the House. So, so like I said, we're going through, midterm elections. There's going to be a lot of noise out there. Each party's going to be slinging, all kinds of stuff. And so I thought I'd go over a little bit of how the markets react during those times.
Is this the part where you say, don't panic?
Don't panic,
Okay.
right? Don't panic. So if we look at like what we call inter-year pullbacks, and so what we mean by that is January 1st to the November, right, for midterms. On average, since 1958, you've seen the markets average a negative 18% from January to November.
Okay.
Because that's what we call inter-year
Yep.
lows. 1 year after that low date, so when I talk about lows, right, it could be the low was, it could have been, July, was the low.
Yep.
But when we hit that low, 1 year from that low, the market's average of 31%.
I say we rebound.
We
Okay.
rebound, right?
Okay.
And so, you're going to hear, like I said, a lot of noise out there. Quarterly market returns. So you look at quarterly before the midterms. So that'd be like quarter 3, right? Because midterms is November. That's going to be 4th quarter. The markets as a whole have averaged a negative 1.13%.
Okay.
Before the midterms, and then non-midterm years, so years we don't have elections, it averages 0.7%. So
Okay.
you can kind of see that. Quarter of midterms, so be 4th quarter, right? The market typically is up 6% because we already know what's happened.
Yeah.
We know kind of how the
Everybody
party's going to
settles
swing.
in.
Right,
Yeah.
you got it. Non-election years, you're looking at only 3%.
Okay.
So we could look at, of course, market may not repeat itself, but this is trends that we've seen since 1958. And
We
then
do have a lot going on right now, other than just.
Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then quarter after midterm, so it'd be quarter 1 of the following year. You look at the markets, the year after midterms is 7.8% return.
Oh.
And then years that we don't have midterms, you're only looking at 0.2%.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, because once again, the markets understand, okay, we've got a new, party coming in. We kind of see shift, we see change, we see direction, and they like that or don't like it. So, and then kind of what we call inter-year pullbacks. Once again, we've kind of already talked about that, but not really going to hit, the inter-year, pullbacks, but. Like I said, historically markets, experience more volatility and uncertainty during midterm years, often leading to larger, pullbacks within the year. And just know that, it's just short-term noise.
Yeah.
And, we just talked about, we may see some, pullbacks in the market, but usually a year after or the quarter after, we're seeing, those markets rebound. We're gonna, and not gonna lie, we're gonna see a lot of mudslinging, and you're gonna see the markets yo-yo because of what's going on. And you said it. There's a lot more going on just the midterm elections. But like I said, we're gonna hear some noise, and like I said, just remember it's just short-term noise. and things will swing back the other way.
Right.
So, but like I said, I'm just I'm keeping it short today. I don't have a whole lot. It's just midterms. Noise. Not saying you tune out the noise, but tune out the noise, and just remember, things will get better.
Right,
so,
and it levels out. It comes around. So
right.
I mean, is there knowing that's coming? A lot of us are in. Oh, what would you like a life path fund? Right? We'll call it. Do those kind of consider that, right, and level out the risk, or not built to do that?
No. So a lot of people always ask me that. Should I get out and just sit on the sidelines, right? Well, none of us have a crystal ball, right?
Right.
And so we don't know when to get out. We don't know when the market's going to go down.
Yep.
And then we don't know when to jump back in because we don't know when we're at the bottom, right?
Yep.
So I always tell clients the best thing to do is, have a well-diversified portfolio, right?
Yes.
So we can weather the storm a little bit better versus if you're really, all in and you're 100% in stocks, well, you're going to take it a lot harder, versus having a diversified portfolio. Also too, as I always tell people, when you go to the grocery store, or when you go to buy you a pair of jeans, do you buy them at regular price, or you look for them on sale? We look for them on sale, right?
I do.
Right.
My husband just buys whatever he wants when he wants it. I wait for the sale.
Well, most people, they look for the discount. But that's what I'm telling people is when your investments go down in value, remember things are paying dividends, or you may be on an ACH program, or and so you're buying every month. You're buying shares. So what I always tell people is, you're buying more shares at a cheaper price.
Yep.
So when it goes up, you own more shares. So your value is going to grow a lot faster because we own more shares.
Yep.
So, but some people, I'm not going to lie, I mean, they cannot stomach the market going down, and so they go to safety. And I mean, as I ultimately always tell people, it's your money. You can do with it what you want. I'm here to talk you off the ledge and do those things. So, but it's a great question. So.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting about the midterm. So.
Yeah, and typically what you see is they only pick up like 2 or 3, but you'll see more when it swings and they lose like the house, it swings like double digits, so they'll lose double-digit seats.
Is there a prediction on?
Well, I mean, look, so here's
what will happen this year?
Here's the prediction, right? I just told you it's only happened 3 times.
Okay, so statistically speaking, right.
I mean, it probably will flip, but 3 times since 1934, it did.
It hasn't.
Could this be the 4th year? Don't know, but historically, it usually flips. So.
As always, you've got good stuff to share.
So thanks. But I'm not done.
Oh, good.
You know that.
Oh gosh, please don't ask me any more presidents. I can't take the embarrassment.
No. So May flowers.
Okay.
Right. The S&P 500 has posted gains in May every year for this decade.
Okay.
Okay. Including 6.2% in May of 2025 and 4.8% in May of 2024. May has been higher in 12 of the last 13 years with an average May gain of 1.1% during this stretch.
Okay.
So, with that being said, a good chance we're gonna have a good May.
I'm looking forward to it.
12 out of the last 13. This could be 12 out of the last 14. But but quarter one.
Okay.
Quarter one delivers.
I know it's over. Yep.
The first 505 companies to report quarter one earnings knocked it out of the park.
Okay.
With 79% of them beating earnings per estimates, 73% beating sales estimates, and 9% raising forward guidance, saying, hey, here's what we were thinking. Well, now we're thinking we're going to do even better, versus 3% that lowered guidance.
Interesting.
So the reason I bring that one up is, I don't know, last podcast or the podcast before, I talked about, what drives the stock market. Mm-hmm. Earnings. Earnings drive the stock market. If companies are making money, that's driving the stock market up. And we just, I'm telling you right now, 505 companies knocked it out of the park. So what I'm basically trying to say is, well, it is an election year, so we could have some volatility.
Yeah.
But we're also seeing companies still beating earnings. So I see a growth,
Okay.
I see still a growth in the market. So, but I just wanted to share that because I know.
Does their profitability have anything to do with inflation?
Yeah, that's a great question, but I'm going to say kind of no, right?
Okay.
Because a lot of these companies, a lot of these that you're probably seeing, we call them the Magnificent Seven. I don't know if you know the Magnificent Seven. That's like NVIDIA.
Is that a Western?
No. So, Magnificent Seven is like NVIDIA, Microsoft.
So they aren't as affected by inflation as
right. They're just the AI boom is
okay.
just driving.
So that's really where it's coming from. Okay.
A lot of it, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yep. So, but anyway, it's kind of it's all I have today. So.
I think it's good.
Huh?
I think it was good.
You think it's good?
I do.
All right. Well,
it's really stumped me on the old Roosevelt one.
Well, I know that now I may throw more.
Please don't.
More presidents into my
Save
presentations.
us all.
So
Good. So coming up, what do we have?
Coming up, we've got Justin Stuart coming in with Blue Springs Parks and Rec. We're excited to spotlight today one of our organizations that plays such an important role here in Blue Springs, the Blue Springs Parks and Rec. With us today, we have Justin Stuart, Director of the Parks and Rec. Thank you for joining us today.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Welcome, Justin. We're excited to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I know, 'tis the season, right? We're getting busy, right? I know getting into the school year, a lot of activities are kicking in. What's going on at Blue Springs Parks and Rec?
We've got a lot going on. We're gearing up for all the summer stuff. Getting the pools ready right now is probably the main focus.
Okay.
Blue Surf Bay will open next Friday, the 22nd.
Okay.
That's Memorial Weekend.
Yeah.
That's always this will be our third year of operations there. So
Yeah.
it's been a big hit the first two. Looking forward to another great year with that. It takes a ton of work to get that ready, up and going.
I'm sure it does.
I can't imagine the staff it takes.
Yeah.
We hire anywhere from 100 to 125 lifeguards.
Wow.
And so it's a big undertaking.
Dang.
Do you train the lifeguards?
Yeah, so
Okay.
we certify the lifeguards ourselves. We have staff that are certified to train and certify lifeguards.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a big undertaking. Now that we're in our third year, we've had some carry over, but we still every year have to hire some. So it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dang. Wow. Didn't realize that many lifeguards. I mean, I get it. I mean, it's a big park.
Yeah.
So big
Takes
water
a lot.
park. Yeah. So I know we talked a little bit before jumping on. Softball, baseball's kicking in.
Yep, our summer sports are going. Our spring soccer league is kind of on the tail end. It's getting ready to finish up here in the next few weeks. But then our summer youth softball leagues, our youth baseball leagues are going. Our t-ball league will be starting up here pretty soon. So we're hitting all the summer sports. And then once you think you're into summer, it's really actually time to thinking about the fall sports already.
Right,
So
exactly.
That sneaks up on people quickly.
Yeah.
So,
What are the fall sports?
we've got fall's really busy. We've got flag football, we've got soccer going on, we've got programs for 3 and 4 year olds that we run through. We run through sports programs for them too.
Wow,
We do some fall softball leagues, so a lot of stuff going on in the fall too.
So in those flag football leagues you have going on, you're seeing this at the high school level now. Is you're seeing girls, flag football really becoming big in high school. Are there leagues, or is it more just co-ed, or your younger ones? Or?
So our leagues have always been co-ed, but last year was the first time we actually got one of the girls' age groups to go on its own, and we expect that to continue to grow.
Oh, I bet.
We're looking at kind of alternatives of where we can play some of our games because it's just a lot of kids in one area, so we're spreading it out a little bit, anticipating that we're going to need more field space, more field time to get all those games in. So, we think that the flag football program, it really over the last 4 or 5 years, it's grown a bunch. It'll continue to just take off with adding flag football as a varsity sport next year.
Yeah, it's huge. You're seeing that just everywhere.
Well, I was going to say it was all over the NFL draft this year.
Yeah.
If either of you watched the draft, they featured all sorts of, high school flag football teams and.
Yeah, there's a big push for and colleges are starting to add women's flag football as a sport in college now. So it's really taken off.
I didn't realize that. So I know Blue Springs Parks and Rec is more than just Blue Surf Bay. Is it Blue Surf Bay,
Blue
right?
Surf Bay,
Blue Surf Bay.
Yep.
I don't have young kids anymore, so I honestly I haven't been to Blue Surf Bay yet.
Need to come check it out.
Yeah, right. But I know Blue Springs Parks and Rec it's more than just activities that we've already talked about. What are some of the other things that the Parks and Recs also
Yeah.
has.
So right now we are just finishing. It should hopefully finish up here within the next month. We're replacing the big playground at Rotary Park.
Yep.
Oh.
So that is underway. I was just over there this morning. They're getting close. So we're probably a couple weeks out from having that done, and we'll do a grand opening for that. Another big thing that we're doing this summer is at Central Park, which is downtown Blue Springs, where the community gardens are at. We've cleared, there's a pond in there that you really couldn't hardly see before. A lot of people didn't know it was there.
I didn't know it was there.
We've cleared out around it, and this summer we're just getting ready to approve a contract to get that paved. So there will be a walking trail around that pond. It's not a long distance, but it'll be a great spot for anybody that's downtown to come down to the park and walk a loop around the trail. So,
Are there fish in this pond?
Good question.
Okay.
I don't know.
TBD.
If
Okay.
it has, it's naturally, we haven't stocked it or anything
Okay.
like that. We don't think the pond's very deep, but we just got it cleared
You
out.
have
so
not
can get
waded
down.
out there to check it out yet? Is that something you do?
No.
That is not in your
I
job
will
description.
Not, I
Okay.
will not wade out into the pond. There might be some scary stuff in that pond.
I would imagine.
And then on the very south side of town, we're going through the design right now for Southwest Park, which is going to be a brand new 50 to 55 acre park.
That's awesome.
Doing the design now, hopefully break ground on that, probably October, November, somewhere in there. And that'll be an 18 to 24 month build process for that park.
To start to finish type.
Yeah.
I've heard some amazing things
Yeah.
It's going
about.
to be really cool. It's going to be awesome. Right now they're working on expanding 12th Street from north to south through the park. That will connect to Wyatt Road. But then, once the park gets going, like I said, we'll probably start construction probably November of this year. And get going with that. But that's going to be great.
So I'm sorry, you said it would take approximately how long?
Probably 18 to 24 months.
18 to 24
somewhere
months.
in that time frame.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because I think you're doing the big pavilion or something.
We're doing an event center, type place in that park, and then a playground that's going to be amazing in that park too. So there's going to be it's going to be a really good space.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. I know, like I said, we've had Chris on, a couple times, and that was one of the things that he talked about, and I'm excited. I've been talking to everybody about it.
Yeah.
When I see everybody, it's like, hey, we're getting this new big park with the the event center, and
it's really cool. It's not very often you get a chance to just take what's really farmland and turn it into a park. Usually what we're doing is renovating existing parks in some way, shape, or form, but this is really starting from scratch. So it's a really cool opportunity to get to do this. And for our community, Keystone right now is the southernmost park we have.
It is,
Keystone is considered, I consider Keystone to be kind of more in the middle of town. So there's nothing on that southern end of town, and that's where a bunch of rooftops have been going up over the last few years. So it's definitely needed down there.
Down there, exactly. So, I know we talked about the parks, we talked about Blue Surf Bay, we talked about the sports, other things. Movies.
Yep. We have special
downtown
events. Yep. We do movies in the park. We'll do a couple of those this summer. We do concerts in the park at Rotary Park. Those are held most Sunday evenings in the summertime. And then this year, of course, we've got the America's 250th that we're really focusing on. So that week leading up to July 3rd, we're going to have events, some kind of event every day of the week. Starting that Sunday, the Kansas City Philharmonic Group's going to do a concert at Rotary Park Sunday night.
That's cool.
We're going to plant a Liberty tree at City Hall on that Monday night. We've got a kids activity on Tuesday and Thursday. We're going to hand out free popsicles at the Aquatics Park on that Wednesday. And then it all finishes up on July 3rd for Red, White, and Blue Springs. And this year we're kind of ramping up that event. We're going to do a drone show along with the fireworks. So
are you really?
A 300-piece drone show will happen right before the fireworks show. So it's going to be pretty awesome.
So really cool. I know that sounds cool, because I know I'm a big America's Got Talent person during the summer. I watch that, and a few years ago they had one of the, I assume it's kind of what you're talking about, the drone displays up in the sky. Oh, those things
the
are
company
cool.
that we're using, I think, was involved with that.
Oh, were they
somehow.
really?
They had some connection with it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a pretty unique thing. We were able to customize it a little bit as far as like what images the drones will shape into, but and it's set to music, so there'll be music playing while that's going on. Before the drone and fireworks show, though, we're doing a bunch of stuff kind of more up in the parks at Young Park. We're going to have a stage with the band playing up there. We're going to have inflatables for the kids. we're looking at doing a hot dog eating contest and some of that kind of
I'm
stuff.
out on that. Hot dogs are disgusting.
Kind of that just Americana type activities for people
Yeah.
to come out and enjoy before the drones and fireworks.
Yeah, I mean, you think of the 4th of July, I mean, it's Nathan's hot dog eating
That's right.
contest.
I know.
So
Yeah.
Do our own Blue Springs version.
there you go, right?
Have you ever watched those?
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't dunk in that in water. and,
No.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
not my cup of tea.
I can't do it. So, well, that's awesome. That will be. Before we moved, we lived in a subdivision because the fireworks used to go off at Blue Springs High School, and I mean we just sit in our driveway and we could just watch them.
We did too. We lived in Kings Ridge, and so
Yeah,
we could.
well, yeah, we were right.
Before the trees got really tall, we
Yeah.
could just watch them. Then we had to start walking to the high school. Now I got to drive across town,
Across
but
town.
Yeah.
I've been to Red, White, and Blue, and it's a really good time. There's
Yeah.
usually food trucks
Yeah.
and
Yep,
all
we'll
sorts of
have
stuff
vendors.
going on out there.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's a good time. Family friendly,
Yep.
all the
Yeah.
good stuff. So
Yep.
it was on my list of events. So
Ah,
I'll
you wanna-
remind everybody at the end.
At the end. So yeah. Well, tell us a little bit more of maybe some things we didn't touch on, some other things you really like about what Blue Springs offers when it comes to.
I mean, I'm very biased, obviously,
Right.
but I think
Oh,
our Parks
okay.
and Rec department just offers a great variety of stuff. We've got Vesper Hall for the seniors. We do programming out there
Okay.
year round, and that's a great facility. We serve the congregate meals over there Monday through Friday
I
for
didn't know
lunch
that.
over there.
I didn't know that.
We have transportation for seniors that need that through that facility. So that's a great asset just to Blue Springs, as a community, just to offer those services. We've got Blue Bay and then the Field House all together as the Carson Russ Community Recreation Complex. So on the Field House side, we've got fitness classes that are going year round. Those are included in your membership. Open courts for basketball.
Yeah.
We've got the turf field in there. We've got the fitness center in there. So a bunch of stuff in there. We do a summer day camp program out of that facility in the summertime. So parents that are looking for something for their kids to do they can sign up week by week for that. So that's a really good opportunity for people. And then our parks, I mean, we've got shelters and playgrounds and all the basic park amenities through all of our parks. So that keeps us really busy with keeping all that up and making those available for people. I guess the other thing too, the splash pad at Old Mill Park.
I was just getting ready to say that.
It opens next Friday as well.
Yep.
So
I gotta put that on the calendar. I'll have to take. I have a 2-year-old grandson that I'm
perfect.
dying to get out there. I
Yeah.
think he'll love that.
Yeah.
Love that. So.
Once again, they put that in after my kids were already
Yeah.
older. So
Yeah.
because we lived, like I said, over on that side of town. So
yeah, that's a great amenity. It's free for people to
Yeah.
go to. That's a really popular place.
yeah, it's
for
always
them.
busy every
Yep.
time you go
Yep.
by there. It's well used. I'll put
It
it
is
that
very
way.
well used.
Yeah.
Well, and I live over by Hidden Valley Park, and there have been a lot of
Uh-huh.
improvements to Hidden Valley
Yeah.
Park in the last couple of years. They turfed all the softball, the infields
I
and the
was
softball
I was going to bring
fields,
that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
which is really cool. I want to know if the turf is hotter than the dirt. That's my only question.
The
Is I
turf
wonder
does-
if the turf gets
It
hot.
does get hot. It
Yeah.
definitely gets hot. But yeah, we turfed those fields 2 years ago.
Okay.
And then this past winter, we renovated the fences around most of those ball fields
Oh,
too.
okay.
So we got new fencing around there. So, and that's all funded through the parks, so the half-cent park sales tax.
Okay.
It's allowed us to do a lot of the upgrades that we've done and things like the turfing of the infields. But that's been huge for us. When you get a wet spring like what we've had in the past month, we haven't had to cancel very many things.
Yeah.
And before we would have probably canceled full weeks of
right.
things. So.
You wouldn't have even played yet.
No.
Yeah.
So,
it makes it very difficult. So
yeah.
that's been a great upgrade out there.
Have you turfed like any other fields, or is there?
No, just those infields right now. It's pretty costly to do that. So,
I'm sure.
We would love to turf all of our playing fields if we could, but that's not realistic. So those fields just get used a lot, not only for our leagues and practices, but for tournaments. The exceptionals program,
Monday
special
nights.
needs
Yep.
program.
Yep. We've talked about that on this podcast
Yeah,
before.
yeah. That's
So.
been a huge benefit for them to have those turf infields too.
Yeah.
So.
Tara's girls played softball. My son has played baseball, and both all of our children have been out there and helped with that program.
It's an awesome program.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome people. We're happy to work with them on that.
Yeah. The only reason I know there's fields up north, Pink Hill, the fields up there. I didn't know if those were dirt or turf, or cause
Those are still dirt right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
we used to play and practice on them. Like I said, my kids are older, so we've been away from the ball fields for a while. So
Yep.
yeah. I'm trying to look at, we kind of already hit a lot of my notes here. What's one hidden gem in Blue Springs Park and Rec that people need to check out? What's one hidden gem?
Ooh, a hidden gem?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Should have made that the hot seat question.
You should
I
have.
know, right?
Oh, hot seat question. Here it is, guys. We just asked it because I didn't prepare one.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're interested in. The pickleball courts that we have at Ward Park are awesome.
Oh, okay.
Ward Park is kind of a hidden park itself.
I don't know where it
I don't
is.
know where it's
So
at.
it's what's the best way to describe it? It's south of 40 Highway, 40 Highway and 19th Street.
There's a park
There's
back there.
there's a Dollar General right there at 40
Yep.
Highway and 19th. Then there's a storage
Yeah.
units.
Yeah.
That park sits kind of behind those storage units. It's very hidden. It's tucked away. It's kind of in the neighborhood. But there's a really nice playground there, and there's a dedicated for pickleball courts there.
Oh, really?
And yeah, the pickleball players definitely know
Oh,
about
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Oh,
Write that down. Ward Park.
Ward
Yeah.
Park. Did they just build those pickleball courts? Or?
Probably 5 or 6 years ago we built
Okay.
those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I honestly did not even know a park was back there. I've
Yeah.
been in Blue Springs 26 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So-
a basketball court there. There's the pickleball courts. Like I said, a really nice playground. Then there's a nice trail that walks through that park too. So,
Okay.
Yeah, it's-
Okay.
Yeah, check it out if you
That's
haven't.
great
Yeah.
to know.
Because I know Railroad Park. My
Yep.
daughter played tennis, so we were always at Railroad Park,
Yeah.
always playing tennis. And I know they kind of turned, I think, a couple of those courts into pickleball. They're all
the
pickleball.
lines on them. Yep.
Yeah. And
Yep.
so, yeah, never heard of Ward Park
I hadn't
before.
either,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
now I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah,
Right.
great.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and what projects or upgrades are you most excited about right now? I imagine I already know the answer to this.
Yeah,
but-
Southwest Park's
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
The other thing that we're just wrapping up is we've just done an update to our Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Master Plan.
Okay.
That kind of helps guide us for the next 10 years as far as decisions that we're making and what direction we're going as a department. So City Council just approved the adoption of that plan last Monday night at the City Council meeting. So now here over the next couple of months we'll start kind of an implementation process for that.
Okay.
But like I said, it will help guide us. The first plan that we ever had for our department was done back in 2016, and we completed about 90% of that plan.
Oh.
And so it was time to update it.
Yeah.
We've been able to do some great things over the last 10 years, and
Yeah.
now this plan will kind of take us to the next
Take
level.
it to the next step or
Yep.
take it to the next,
Yep.
like you said, next level. So, yeah, I know, like I said, you guys do a great job. We both have kids and older kids, and I
Yep.
know my daughter went through she played soccer at, the field house when she was littler.
Yeah.
And we played baseball, at Blue Springs, and so you guys do an awesome job. Anything else you'd like to
I just
to
think in
add?
the last, I don't know, we're going to call it 10 years, there's been so much focus on improving, right, our facilities,
Yeah.
bringing new things to Blue Springs, and I think that's good for our community. And
Yeah.
so I know we appreciate everything that Parks and Rec does. So
Yeah.
I do want to know, how does one become the director of Parks and Recreation?
Draw the short stick, I guess.
Really, that's what I say about health insurance
Yeah.
brokerage, but
Yeah.
sure.
A lot of Parks and Rec directors start off, I did the same thing, start off at a lower level, obviously. A lot of times running sports programs. That's where that's my background. I was starting off in youth sports programming, and then you just kind of work your way up. The Parks and Rec world is pretty interconnected, so once you kind of get your foot in the door somewhere and start getting some experience, then you can move around fairly easy. It's all about making connections and just kind of see where you want to take your career and just go for it. And yeah.
So how long have you been with Blue Springs Park and Rec?
I came here in 2013.
Okay.
13 years?
Yep. Before that, I was in Iowa for 6 years, and before that, I was with the City of Liberty for 6 years.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I have to ask, because I've spent a little time in Iowa myself, so what parts of Iowa?
so I grew up, my hometown's Sheridan, Iowa, south central Iowa.
South Central,
Yep.
okay.
And then when my family moved from Liberty to Iowa, we moved to Indianola, Iowa,
Yep.
just south of Des Moines.
Yep, south of Des Moines there,
Yep.
yeah. I spent a year in Cedar Rapids.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
yeah. But then my wife, her family is all from like Emmitsburg, Iowa,
Uh-huh.
Iowa City,
Yeah.
and so we've got a lot of Iowa
Yep.
in our blood.
Yeah,
So
it's a good place.
yeah, no, we loved it. We have a neighbor up there that we just absolutely loved that neighbor. They'd come down after we moved, and we'd go to the zoo, and so Iowa's a great place. So, but you have anything else?
No, I mean, if I can talk through events, coming up events, if we want to hit that before we head out. I didn't even think of a hot seat question this week. I usually do.
We left you kind of easy. I'm not a hot seat.
I'm trying to think if I could come up with one really, really quickly. But I do. Okay, so let's think about 4th of July.
Sure.
Right? So you're a kid. You're going to the fireworks stand. What was your go-to?
Oh. The big boomers.
I had a
80s,
feeling.
I was a farm kid, so we would take those and throw them into the pond and just try to blow up as much stuff as we could.
Okay, I thought that might be. Eric, how about you?
I grew up, on the farm, and we used to have good old, I shouldn't even say it, but bottle rockets.
They
were legal back then, so bottle rockets.
Never been a big fireworks fan.
Really?
Yeah, I don't love the booms. I hate the ones that like spin or chase or whistle. So I'm all for going to watch a display, but I have no desire to actually set off
So fireworks.
A firework at the snakes.
Yeah.
Loved those.
Love
Snakes
those.
and smoke bombs, baby. Okay, events. Let's talk through those. So Justin already mentioned we've got Red, White, and Blue Springs on the 3rd at Wilbur Young Park from 3 to 10 p.m. That's where you're going to find the fireworks show, the drone show, live music, food trucks, vendors. Sounds like inflatables.
Yep.
Okay.
Inflatables for the kids.
All sorts of fun stuff, family friendly. Come out and enjoy the nation's 250th anniversary.
Yes.
I also found you guys' website. By the way, if you haven't logged in and been to the Blue Springs Park and Rec website, they have an events calendar, and you can see everything that's going on with Parks and Rec. But they got some good stuff in July. We've got Shark Week.
Yep.
Shark Week.
Yeah, Shark Week is July 6th through 12th. Including a dive-in movie on the 10th. Any guesses? What would you show at a pool?
Well, I would show Jaws.
And that's what we're doing.
Is it really?
Yep,
okay.
it is Jaws.
Okay.
Funny story with that. Last year, we wanted to show Jaws, but it was the 50th anniversary.
Oh,
of
it was.
Jaws,
They re-released it.
and
Yeah.
they locked down all the rights, so we weren't able to. We weren't able to show it.
Because
Couldn't
they
show
wanted-
Jaws 2, Jaws 3D. None of
you
it?
couldn't do
The
that.
whole franchise.
They locked it all
Really?
down for that year. So.
Did you go with like Sharknado or something
We
instead?
went with some movie I had never heard of.
Okay.
That had a shark in it.
Justin already also mentioned the free concerts in the park at Rotary Park, not Railroad Park. It's Rotary.
Rotary? Did I call it Railroad earlier?
Railroad Lake at Rotary Park.
No, is it no longer? That's what,
I
once
don't know.
again,
That's what
that's
we
how
call
long
it.
it's been since I've been to.
Those are most Sundays from 6 to 8, so you can bring out your chairs, have a good time. I also found there is a ladies' night out at Burr Oak Woods on the 15th of July. Where they're going to do some archery, some kayaking, and more. And they recommend closed-toed shoes, ladies. Sounds like it might be dangerous. Just some things that go on all the time. So Kansas City Curling Club, if you're familiar with them here on Outer Road, they do crokinole on Tuesdays, which is a game I'm really not sure. I'll have to... Maybe
know
we'll
what
have
that is?
Leon sometime to tell us about.
I haven't either.
It's a round wooden board with little discs, and if I remember correctly, you're kind of shooting the discs to try to move other discs around, maybe. That could be a total lie, but we're going to go with that. They also do trivia on Wednesday nights at 7. East 40 always has open mic on Tuesdays, trivia on Thursdays, and live music on Fridays and Saturdays most weekends. Vita Blue Springs for July is on the 25th.
Okay.
So you can go get your food truck fix. Car cruise is every second Saturday during the summer.
Yeah.
Those have been
downtown,
moved.
right?
Yeah,
Oh, they're
so
not downtown?
because of the new cityscape and what's going on Main Street, they've moved them to that parking lot where
By
the
police
farmer's
sta-
market is.
Yeah, but the police station is or right across the street.
Yep, and Market in Main is open on Saturdays. Chiefs training camp will start end of July, which is crazy to think about.
I know,
But
it's right around the corner.
that's all I've got.
That's all you got?
I felt like that was actually
That's
pretty
actually
good
quite a
list.
bit, because there wasn't anything in June.
No,
Yeah.
June's not a good month,
Yeah,
but July is
so-
a lot of fun.
Yeah, so.
Justin, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today and talking about Blue Springs Park and Rec. guys probably don't get enough recognition in this town for
Yeah.
what you guys do. You having kids that have gone through there, thank you. Terry can say the same thing. So
thank you guys for having me on and letting us talk about our stuff.
Yeah, no, not a problem at all. Well, I think that's it. That'll put a wrap on this month's podcast. Thank you for joining another episode of Insurance, Investments, and All About Town podcast. We appreciate your support. Don't forget to like our videos. You can find us out at YouTube under ECS Capital Investments, or you can find the link on my Facebook page, ECS Capital Investments, as well. That will once again put a wrap on this month on episode 21. Once again, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Thank you.